Alas, there is time for ruminating. Hey up, as they say. Whatever. I didn't really decide how to do a greetings all kind of thing, opening thing. Anyway, it's time for another Ruminations episode, as you would have obviously guessed by the intro. A couple of subjects I've been thinking of, just sort of randomly, but not randomly. Well, kind of randomly. Anyway, so yeah, this is going to cover two subjects. Well, yeah, not X-Men as a whole, but whatever, we'll get to that. And Boardwalk Empire, sort of as a whole, and sort of focus on one character, I suppose. And what I mean by that is, well, you'll see or hear, because there's going to be an image montage that is repeating every now and then, whatever, as you hear my voice. That was my subpar Alexander Graham Bell impression and reference. Anyway, let's get a shift on, as the 13th Doctor says. So yeah, this first one is inspired by X-Men Origins Sabretooth. Sabretooth. Fucking F. Excuse my French, ignore that I said that. Maybe I will learn how to somehow bleep my swear words when I eventually get to be monetized, if and when that happens. Anywho, just forget I said that. The F word. Frig, whatever. Maybe I should have just said frig. But yeah, let's get to first X-Men Origins Sabretooth. Now, those of you who are comic book nerds out there, I kind of am. The odd sort of. I've read a pocket book called Venom Birth of a Monster, which connects some nutter in a ski mask called the Sin Eater, and eventually Eddie Brock, and on his way to becoming Venom. I won't spoil that for you, but that's a little kind of fun fact, little filler time kind of thing before I get to my points. And speaking of X-Men, I also watched one that involved Marvel Girl becoming some kind of lizard humanoid, dinosaur humanoid thing, and Storm goes and gets control, goes nuts, and creates a hurricane storm thing. Lucas Bishop, who those viewer X-Men movie watchers would have seen him in X-Men Days of Future Past, and he's all there. He's got like a weird kind of buddy cop, if you will, relationship with Nightcrawler, of all people. They're actually quite funny. I can't remember the name of the episode. Comic. It's where the X-Men are in the Savage Land for the 50th time. Basically where Sauron, the weird Greek mutant who absorbs electricity and turned into a pterosaur lives. If you know your Marvel comics lore. Um, so yeah, sorry for repeating myself. I go off on a bit of a roundabout tangent sometimes. Yeah, I thought it'd be interesting. Maybe interesting idea, and maybe they could pull it. Maybe it could be pulled off. Maybe like Netflix or something like that. I don't want Disney to go anywhere near Marvel stuff all the time. It's just because it might kind of turn it down. But I don't know. However, for example, Daredevil Born Again is streamed on Disney Plus, and that's violent as all get out as well, with Kingpin cracking walnuts like melons, watermelons, for example. Then there's the bear on there, I suppose, and that's dark and stressful TV, but good all the same. And yeah, but I think I have an idea, kind of a well. This is why it's ruminations. I was ruminating over an idea. For example, what would you like to see in a young Sabretooth series or mini series, kind of based off, I suppose, bits of the original comic, but also make it so it's part of the X-Men movies verse, if you will, maybe, or partly, or as a little nod. I was thinking maybe because to be honest, Liev Schreiber would be too old by now. You know, and if you're familiar with the behind the scenes and left on the cutting room floor kind of stuff about Logan, he was supposed to have an appearance as a casino owner in Logan, which is a shame. It would have been nice to see 200 year old 200 and something year old Sabretooth, kind of with a with a successful job and a managerial thing going on. That would have been nice, a little reference. They were thinking about doing that, but Schreiber, whatever, was busy filming Ray Donovan, which it conflicted with the schedule, whichever you prefer. But speaking of returning actors, I was thinking either, and feel free to comment, as I always invite people. This is why I don't make my videos for kids at all, ever, no matter what the subject, because I want people to comment and share the thoughts. So I was thinking maybe either he'd be the right age. Michael, I can't forget what his Michael Olsen, basically from X-Men Origins Wolverine. That I would like to see him as the younger Sabretooth, but also maybe, I don't know if it could work. Maybe you have to kind of stubble him up a lot, but maybe, and that's a big maybe. Troye Sivan, who is obviously Kid Wolverine in the opening in X-Men Origins Wolverine, maybe as a young Victor Creed. But I was thinking Olsen. I think he deserves a comeback. Schreiber kind of missed sadly missed his comeback as Sabretooth. I'm not sure if he's actually in. No, it's Tyler Mane that returned in Deadpool and Wolverine, which was quite a nice That was a nice featurette. Because I quite liked him in, as cheesy as it was, the first X-Men film. It was intimidating, and the idea that Schreiber's Sabretooth is the very same one as him. He turns into that feral kind of werewolf-eyed, whatever, beast-eyed, where there's nothing left of the man he used to be. Yeah, thinking that. So what do you think? Yeah, I'd like to know what you think. Anyway, right, and the second and final subject of the day is Boardwalk Empire. Specifically, to start off with, Richard Harrow. Would you like the idea of a mini series or something with him, in his World War II days, or when he's gonna leave for World War II? Would you still want to have Jack Houston as him? I suppose it could work. No AI bilge whatsoever. No, I think it actually could work despite him being like 40 something now, because of the the mask and everything like that and the glasses. Maybe he could pull it off before he gets disfigured. Anyway, would you like to see that as a video game too? Maybe segments of him shooting people, or would you like? Or I was thinking also a just a Boardwalk Empire video game in general. And what the image I use in there is from somebody else's YouTube video, where it's where they actually want a kind of a concept. They have a sort of a concept idea of Boardwalk Empire, using Grand Theft Auto 5 mods. But yeah, I mean, I think I'd like to see it. I mean, it's an HBO show, and the reason I say HBO, make any reference to that, is, you know, I don't know if anybody remembers it, but there was that not very popular game on PS2 called, sorry for umming and erring. I sound like a Texas cheerleader or some kind of valley girl or whatever. I'm doing it again. It's like going like I'm like Vicky Pollard over here. If anybody knows Little Britain, But yeah, would you? Yeah, getting off track because I'm kind of rushing through this because of recording time and data and blah de blah de blah. There was the Sopranos Road to Respect, where it focused on Pussy Bompensero's illegitimate son tracking down the crew, the Tony's crew, and rising up through the ranks. So I think that, in that sense, the Boardwalk Empire game could work. Probably be more popular than the Sopranos game. So anyway, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and I'll love you lot, and leave you lot. Ta-ta for now.